Hey guys, welcome back to another MCU Rewatch episode. Today we are on the second half of Phase 2
Yes, we are.
with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Whoop,
Whoa!
whoop.
This is personally for me one of the first MCU films I watched, and also one of the films that really introduced me to other characters. If you get me, outside of, I felt with who the fuck is Star-Lord, Gamora, the guy, those guys. Yeah. So Tom, please hit me with some opinions of yours of the movie.
Well, Keane, I thought it was a really good movie. I mean, I've like with most stuff, up to probably Phase 4, I've seen it before, but I think it still really holds up. Obviously, James Gunn's gone on to do a lot of, I guess, similar kind of style movies, but this, with the Guardian trilogy and also with the DCU, but this still really holds up against those, I think. Unfortunately, it's probably still my least favorite Guardians movie.
Which is, there has to be a least favorite.
I mean, it might change because Guardians 2 is coming up in a couple of weeks, and I've only ever seen Guardians 3 once in the cinema. So
that's true. We watched that, didn't we?
Yeah. But one thing I love about Guardians is it's just also the casting, not the cast, but the characters in it. It turns a group of kind of selfish douchebags into such likable characters you just root for, and they all kind of have different things they've gone through and trauma, and they all kind of have depth, really good depth to them, and when they come together, it just it works so well. And as you said, it kind of introduces a wider aspect of characters. I think James Gunn works really well with maybe lesser known characters, with obviously this, but also later Peacemaker, Creature Commandos, with some of the lesser known characters where you can kind of change more of what makes them the character. I think he does really work really well with that, and all the characters in this film, well, most of them, we'll get to that, I feel are really just good characters. But also I think the set design is great in this. Each planet feels distinct, and each I think the CGI for the planets is really good. You have Morag at the start, which is the planet he dances through. You've got Xandar, which again feels completely different to Morag, and you have Nowhere, which I absolutely love the design for Nowhere. I think the design and the atmosphere is great, and also just the concept of a giant dead being's head floating through space, I think is a sick concept. Yeah. Also, one thing I'm sure we're going to talk about a lot in this episode, but the soundtrack is great in this movie. The soundtrack's great, and I think probably, I'm not sure if you'd agree, but the needle drop at the start with Come and Get Your Love, probably the best needle drop in this movie, at least.
Okay, I kind of agree. And
also, I think just in general, the kind of connection just in general to the Walkman and how the music's played, because it technically relates to Star-Lord's past, I think is really well, and how much love Quill has to the music and the Walkman, and when he goes back to the prison to rescue the Walkman, I think really good. And but that's skipping ahead a bit, but also I just love the character designs. Obviously, the Peter and the Ravagers designs are sick. When Peter Quill's dancing through Morag, and you get the long red trench coat, you get the helmet, you get the guns. But even at the end of the movie when he's got the shorter coat, I think it all just looks really good and kind of fits the vibe it's going for of Ravagers and kind of what they're going for. I feel the movie also nails the emotional aspect, because you have obviously kind of the intro, which again, Keane, flashback.
This one works. I like this one.
But you get the sad intro with Quill and his mom, and then you do get the resolution to that at the end, where Quill didn't want to hold his mom's hand, but him holding the hand to save, to stop the Power Stone destroying Xandar, like helps him like overcome that trauma to open up like the mix for Volume 2, and I think that works really well. I love the humor in Guardians. Like again, James Gunn movie, but like Quill, fucking massive moth just landed on the outside of my window. Sorry. James Gunn, the James Gunn humor, like when Peter's just saying like a bunch of Earth references to these guys that just don't understand. Like he calls the guy the Ninja Turtle. He says like if you shine a black light in his ship, it would like a Jackson Pollock or whatever. Like I enjoy that.
Yeah, the countless Kevin Bacon references that he makes throughout the entire trilogy. To be fair, but this movie a lot. Yeah.
And I also like how you don't get just like explicit kind of explanations for stuff. You kind of leaves it and hints to more future, like with Rocket's backstory, and also set up for Guardians 2 when his mom keeps saying like his dad was an angel, and then the Ravagers like we should have dropped you off at your dad or whatever. And also, I feel like again with the emotion, it nails it. Like it's generally kind of quite heartbreaking when like Rocket's kind of yelling to, I think it's Gamora, and it's like I didn't ask to get made or whatever.
Yeah,
I think that's really good.
Needed anybody, suck it up. Sorry, go on.
But also, I like the kind of, again, you kind of get the scene of like where the MCU is heading forward, because you kind of briefly get it with Thor: The Dark World, but this like officially establishes Infinity Stones, officially establishes like the origin, officially like establishes like Thanos is after the Infinity Stones, and that like I'm not sure. Again, I can't remember how much it does, but it does like definitively say like the ether is the Infinity Stone, so is the Tesseract. So I like that you get that. Hold on, let me find more. I also think like the villain in this movie. Obviously, you get Thanos, but also Ronin. I feel like is a very kind of compelling and like kind of scary villain. With the fact also he does get so close to like completing his plan and destroying Xandar, and you do kind of get that tension. And honestly, also glad Ronin killed the other, and like the other wasn't being in this any further. Is that fucking Thanos Dick Rider?
The rate. I will say though, Ronin really did fall for that rage bait. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's just. But no, was very glad to see that guy die. I can't lie. I really can't. I mean, it's like, you know when you've got like that friend group, and then like there's those two that there's the one guy that's always defending the other. It's like it's literally that. Oh my god, we know a person. Oh, like we know someone like that. Holy shit! But yeah, no, it was exactly like that. It's like, let Thanos talk, bro.
There's also, I feel like, some great moments throughout the film, like when we get Rocket on Groot's back in the prison breakout, and also Groot in this film, just delightful.
Yeah.
Obviously, we get him at the end again with the emotion. We are Groot at the end.
We are Groot.
And then obviously, like Rocket, I guess doesn't like to be touched, but then you have like he lets Drax comfort him at the end, which again, really nice scene. And there's also some, I feel like, really good lines in this movie. Like, obviously, we are Groot, but also, like, when the token is like, I've got 12% of a plan. Like, also, I feel like the sky battle at the end, near the end, is also just a great scene. Like, we don't really get, like, big kind of, I guess, Star Wars-esque battles in Marvel, because it is more just, like, superheroes and fistfight and stuff, but that is a really good battle. But to be honest, and also the Milano design is, I love the Milano. But
yeah, I have things to say about it, to be fair.
But I think that is most of what I wanted to say. So if you want to
take us over
with what you like.
Yeah, I'm going to try not to repeat as much, but obviously the instructions to Star-Lord is dope. Honestly, I don't mind the flashback, and Guardians 2 is going to follow that exact thing, started a flashback as well. So,
Yeah.
I've kind of got to accept it for these movies because they are so good. Obviously, we got the introduction to Star-Lord, which, dope. Peter Quill. Woo! I do really like his actual design of his costume. And then obviously we get the human that's going to be through it all, where it's like, some star douchebag or, star prince, that kind of stuff. Which I kind of like it. He's like, it's Star Wars, it's Star-Lord, man. Obviously,
Yeah.
I the ship design is awesome. You see it like quite early on. You see it just go off. Really like that.
Yeah.
This is I think when we I'll come back to that actually. Never mind. Obviously we get the first look at the Power Stone. We don't obviously on the rewatch we know it's inside the orb, but obviously you don't on your first watch, which is kind of I like that. It's like, oh, we're just kind of throwing around this orb thing. Why is it?
Yeah.
And then we get another really menacing start to a villain. Do you know what I mean? His first act will just kind of in like bludgeoning a guy to death, but like just with one, and you kind of just see the blood dripping. It's like, they didn't have to show this. Though that is his first act, and I like when I do like when a villain is set out because their first act is just murder. Bradley Cooper as Rocket, fucking awesome. I am loving Bradley Cooper at the moment. I say at the moment for the past couple of months, I'll just watch anything. Star is Born, The Hangovers, all great films, and they've got And then we get to the prison scene. I'm really enjoying that. Holy fuck, Chris Pratt is so hot in that scene. I'm not gay, but man,
straight male supposedly.
Chris Pratt in that scene. Holy shit, fair enough. And we get those one-liners. I will say overall, I'm with the humor. I literally just got the comedy just hits in this film because it does there's never a joke that falls flat, and I don't think we get much. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Nathan Fillion, and we obviously get a cameo of his in the prison. I kind of like that, and I like you don't know that in the actual thing. It's like, oh, that's fucking Nathan Fillion, really? Because it doesn't look like him, but we know of knowledge from outside the Lord, and then you got the Riz Lord himself trying to listen to this music, puts the headset on. I'm like, damn, bro, calm down. Which brings me on to my next point of Zoe Saldana is fucking so beautiful in this film. Holy shit. But she's beautiful anyway. Sorry, that was kind of my takeaway, that she's just a very beautiful woman. And then he's like, "Now it's just Salad. Fuck everything else." Gamora finds out it's a Power Stone. She's like, "We got to stop this." And he kind of hits them with the "let's just get paid," and then we then literally a few scenes later we just get to see that whole thing just fall apart, and he's like, he gives Gamora his space suit to live, which we do get a cool fight scene in between. I'm not the biggest fan of Drax in the first film, so I don't have any likes about him, to be honest. Then obviously my only other takeaways about this movie, I can't lie, is that Yondu's got a badass whistle, and then looking in from the future, I have a couple things. A lot of them are dislikes, so I'm only going to do the one that's a like here, which is we get to see Yondu's character development in the first movie. Like, we get to see what he's going to do in the second movie because of who he is. But Tom,
Ian,
I say, if you've not got any more likes, is there anything you overly disliked about the movie?
I do have one dislike, and one's kind of meta, not kind of out in our world dislike. But the one, starting with the one actually in the movie first, is I felt Zoe Saldana's acting was not the best. I feel it was just really flat, and I'm not sure like how much of it is the character she's playing, but I did kind of feel like the acting on Gamora's acting wasn't the best throughout the movie. So and obviously Gamora's like raised by Thanos, and she's like not an emotional person, so maybe it's like that. But I will say I was watching it, and at least for the first half, my note was Zoe Saldana's like cardboard.
Fair enough. Yeah, I didn't notice it much, to be fair, but I guess opinion. I guess.
The other note I had was, again, it's kind of external from the film, is Kevin Feige has been saying some stuff recently about, with obviously Doctor Doom coming up in Doomsday, and Doctor Doom not having like an intro prior to Doomsday. Kevin Feige was saying stuff like, "Oh, you were all hung up on like Thanos having an intro when Thanos had like no intro in the MCU or whatever prior to Infinity War." And I'm like, "What are you chatting, mate? He's like in the Avengers post-credit scene. He's in the Age of Ultron post-credit scene, and he makes a pretty big appearance in this movie."
Yeah.
So
exactly, yeah. It doesn't make sense. Sorry, I kind of yawned during that. No.
Plus like we had like 6 years of knowing Thanos was headed here because of like the Avengers post-credit scene coming out in 2012 and Infinity War in 2018. Like we had 6 years of Thanos coming. Plus, we saw him in this. We know what his goal is now. Like,
is that why it took him so long, Tom? Because Thanos was coming for 6 years.
Jesus.
Sorry. But yeah, no. Continue. Sorry.
And then he's like, "Oh, but Doctor Doom's not going to have an intro because Thanos didn't have one or whatever." Like, Thanos had like 6 years plus multiple features in films. Like, Doctor Doom barely featured in the Fantastic Four post-credit scene.
And don't get me wrong. We've got Marvel films that we've watched that, you know, it shows that you don't need to announce your villain, you know, movies before, like, you know, Ultron. We don't get Ultron, do we really, in any other film? And we get a bit of Loki and thingy, but you know, it's one of those things where it's like it could work, it could, you know, but it's like, stop comparing him to Thanos if you're also going to say, you know, oh, just make him new. But the thing is, Doctor Doom is such a player in the universe where it's like you probably should. And
yeah,
they're probably...
and with the story they're telling, like with how big it is, like you need to, like, at least because they seem to be more adapting the 2015 Secret Wars. The 2015 Secret Wars, at its heart, is a Fantastic Four, Reed Richards and Doctor Doom story, like at its heart. And yet, what Doctor Doom only appears in the post-credit scene of Fantastic Four, and we've not seen him interact with the Fantastic Four at all, like prior to Doomsday coming out.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you need the build-up for Doom, and it's just, again, not there. But comparing it to Thanos and being like Thanos also didn't have a build-up is, I think, just quite stupid.
Yeah. No, you're right. Do you have any more dislikes?
No, those are my two.
Okay, I have a lot. No, I'm kidding. I have about 4 things though. Okay, so my first one was that they are very quick to just team up. They go from fighting each other to be like, oh, you know what, guys, let's break out of prison, and then like, let's get drunk together, let's go buy them. But you know, they seem really like not trusting, but they do just seem to just become a team very quickly on. And I'm like, I don't know how I felt about that. You know, it's like, you know, Captain Marvel. You know, we that's a prequel to this in a way because of Ronan's people being in that movie. And them losing what, 2/3 of it? 2/3 of his species in Captain Marvel.
I don't remember. I have watched Captain Marvel. I don't remember it.
I feel like it's something like that, right? So it really annoys me how Ronan the Accuser is. This is like on the rewatch scale of stuff that annoys me, because I'm like, so you're portraying him like this, but because I feel like he does really stupid things in this. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, in like chronologically order, you know, he's established that like so many of his people have been wiped out. He's just gonna talk shit to Thanos and then betray him. Moral of the story, guys. This is my genuine review of the movie. Switch up on your homies day one. Switch up on your day ones, bro. He gets the Power Stone, switches up immediately. Goes, fuck that guy. Get a load of this guy, you know. Some more dislikes. I hate the Nova Corps. I hate the planet. I think it's all stupid. I think in universe they're all stupid as fuck. I'm sorry. The ship scene, right? As a kid, I kind of liked it. I was like, what? It pisses me off. That's your first line of defense. How many, like, I don't know if it explained anything of how many soldiers they had on the ground, but
I think it did.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't remember it. But watching that, I was like, okay, so you're going to send majority of your fleet to be a shield for the people, right? They all die. Like, nearly all of them die, right? That's, what, a third of your army?
Yeah.
Going against a ship that's, like... They just seem really stupid. And that's furthered on in Infinity War, also, I'm going to say. They die immediately. Their planet is gone. Their planet dies off screen. Spoiler alert for Infinity War, guys. But if you've not seen it, if you're the one that hasn't seen it, there are stupid people who die, and they kind of deserve it, because what you tell me, the Nova Corps can handle an Infinity Stone? Clearly, they couldn't, because they couldn't handle a ship. Sorry, so that just kind of annoyed me, right? My note is literally, no wonder Thanos got the Power Stone.
Yeah.
I was going to say at least with Asgard, but no, Asgard gets fucked up too. Like they kind of also lose really quickly.
Yeah.
You know, they lose in a way that they get on screen. Which I can't wait for Infinity War, because I've got that scene still annoys me to this day. So we'll be talking about it. We will be talking. No, I'm joking. So that's kind of all of them, I think, of my dislikes. Is there anything else that I disliked about the movie? Really? No, I don't think there is. No, I didn't like Drax's character much, to be honest. In this movie, I say he jumps to a higher character in the second and third movie, but in this one, it's just, I'm gonna contradict everything several times. Like, okay. I don't know. I feel like he's underused in this movie. That's just my takeaway. I do have a question to propose to you. This is one I thought of the other day when I was watching it yesterday. My question is, oh my god, I've no joke, just forgot it. That's so pissing me off. No, I had it and then I forgot it, and then I've just got it again. It's no, it's gone. Tom, I can't believe it. It's no joke gone. It was such a good question. It wasn't a good question. It was just one of those, like, oh, Tom, if you know, no, it's gone. Tom.
I segue to my question then.
Please do, because I'm.
This was, maybe I should have said this before, but the thing I was gonna, one of the segments I had on my list was, so Keane, what would be on your Awesome Mix Volume 1?
Oh, bro's throwing me in mix. Oh, no, I got you. Let me pull up Spotify, because I can pick songs off this playlist. Okay. So let me pull up the Superman mix, because they're all on there. I can't lie. We'd hit Star Lord. We'd also hit Oh Lord by Foxy Shazam. Shout out Peacemaker season 2, man. Elvis Presley, If I Can Dream. You Get What You Give by New Radicals. Spaceman by The Killers. The Pursuit of Happiness by Kid Cudi and MGMT Rat. Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. Save Me by Remy Zero. They're all on there, Tom, for sure. Not gonna lie.
Fair.
I'm gonna add more, because I sorry. I'm also gonna throw on some Rihanna, because why not, Tom? We love Rihanna at the end of the day. Let me think. Sorry, this I didn't hear this before we started recording, so this is kind of like clocked me a bit. Honestly, S&M, we talked about it in the music episode. I love that song. It would be on there probably. Maybe not appropriate for the movie, but you know. I think I'm just gonna give it to you. I think I'm just gonna pass it to you, Tom, because I don't know. I'm gonna ask you the same question. What's on your mix?
That wasn't the question you were going to ask me, Keane. I asked you that one.
No, well, I'm just, okay, fine. We don't want to hear what's on your mix.
No, we can.
Oh, no, I don't want it now.
Fuck me then. And I'm going to hide in my blanket.
He's hiding in his blanket. Go on. Give us your mix, Tom.
So, Keane, I think I'm just going to say some shit I've been listening to recently, Keane. I think maybe that would be on my list.
Yeah.
And so, hold on, let me open my fucking music.
I will say, I'm gonna ask you this. You're gonna ask me this question again for Volume 2, and I'm gonna have a totally different answer for a totally different vibe, because I have it in my head now, and I know what I'd say. And it's just the entire track team to Volume 2. Volume 2's got the best. I'm not gonna say it, because we'll talk about it on the third episode of Guardians of the Galaxy, but this one does not have the soundtrack, in my opinion. It has great songs, not the best, in my opinion. Go on, Tom, if you found your music.
Okay. So Keane, there's a couple obvious, I guess, if you would know me, but I guess all-time favourites on there. Thunder Road by Springsteen, Passing the Screen Door by One of the Years, and Matter of Trust by Billy Joel. But
Yes.
I'm also going to fill it out with songs I've been listening to recently, Keane. So we've got a song called The Fire Inside by Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, a song called Lover's Cross by Jim Croce, the 78 version of Prove It All Night by Bruce Springsteen that turns the fucking regular version of Prove It All Night into like an 11-minute song with like a 4-minute guitar intro at the start. That's one I've been listening to recently. Let's fucking go.
Hell yeah, bro. Fair enough.
Also, C'est Comme Ça by Paramore's on there. Last Young Renegade by All Time Low.
Okay.
And yeah, those are the songs I've been listening to recently, and what would probably be on my Awesome Mix Volume 1 at the minute, Keane.
Okay. I don't hate that. That sounds pretty cool. I will say, though, I'm going to hit you with... This isn't exactly my question, but it's a question I thought of to replace it, is do you think that the Guardians of the Galaxy could have stopped the New York Chitauri attack? No nuke. No nuke. We'll say, like, no nuke, but other than that.
I don't think so, Keane.
Okay.
Because you've got Gamora's essentially Black Widow. She didn't do a whole lot in the New York. Like Star-Lord's just got blasters. Drax is like equivalent to Hawkeye.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Rocket again doesn't have powers; just shoots guns, unless Groot wants to like grow himself over all of New York City or something.
Actually, you kind of got a point there. Groot could solo the Chitauri. Let's be real. Do you think Groot could genuinely solo nearly everyone?
No, Keane.
No, really. I know, like fire's a bit of a weakness for the guy, but like, gotta admit, like, he's got some good powers.
No, Keane. No? He's a twig. You can snap him like a twig.
Fuck me then.
Just like bend him over your knee and just like Batman. Bane does for Batman.
Why are you trying to ban Groot, bro? Joking.
He's an adult in this one, Keane.
That is true. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, I think that's all I have for Guardians 1, Tom. I heavily enjoyed it. It went up a star, I think, on that. I think I'd give it a 5-star anyway. But is that why I gave it? I don't actually know. Oh, goodness me. We literally just talked about it as well. I totally forgot what I gave it. Let's see, Tom. Guardians of the Galaxy. Right, number 1, 2014, directed by James Gunn, the GOAT. Yeah, I gave it 4.5 stars, and I think that's where it stands. I think it's genuinely an impeccable movie.
I'll check what I gave it.
James Gunn is one of my favorite directors. Like, I don't really care about directors that much, but there is nothing of James Gunn I haven't liked. I just like the way he thinks. Do you know what I mean? Like, bro directed the Suicide Squad and thought, he comes up with an idea and he creates Peacemaker from that idea, and I'm like, you know what, fair enough. He thinks it. I kind of respect that way of director working. Like, yeah, you've got some... What'd you give it?
4 stars, Keane.
Oh, 4 stars. Okay, you cut out when you said 4 stars, so I just didn't hear it. All right then. God, I really wish I could remember my question because it was a good question. But I will say, Tom, I think that's wrap up time. I will say that's wrap up time.
You want to do Stanley?
Oh yeah, he was a sex pest in the start of the movie.
People like decasters.
God, man of good taste. No, I'm joking.
Yo.
Whoa, no, I'm joking. Okay, thank you guys for listening to the Guardians of the Galaxy episode. We thank you guys for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe. Goodbye.